Right, I want to just talk about Jamie Carragher's words on the tackle between Justin Kluivert and Luis Diaz. So this is what Carragher had to say, and I'm going to ask you guys what you think. He said, I think Kluivert is a lucky boy. Them type of situations, I don't want to see the red card, but the reason Liverpool will be frustrated is because Curtis Jones got sent off for something similar away at Tottenham. When you see it in slow motion, you think it's a shocker. It's a red card. I don't like it getting slowed down too much. I've always said that when VAR are looking at it, it's a nasty challenge. I think the referee gets a right decision. For me, football isn't played in slow motion. When you see it at full speed, it doesn't look like there's too much in it. But there will be frustration, and understandably so, because of Curtis Jones' red card against Spurs. So, I guess I agree with some parts of what Jamie Carragher's had to say there. And I disagree with others. So for me, the difference between that challenge and Curtis Jones' challenge is pretty clear. Curtis Jones played the ball, and the ball rolled his foot over the top of the ball, which, because of the motion in the tackle, put him into the Spurs player, and that's why he made contact. So, if anything, I think Curtis Jones was even... There's a greater argument to say it shouldn't have even been a yellow, let alone a red. But for the Kluivert challenge, well, there isn't a ball in the scene. Yes, he goes for the ball, but by the time he contacts on Luis Diaz, the ball's nowhere to be seen. Now, I get what people are saying, that it's right on the border, yellow, red, whatever. But why is it that when Tierney or when Liverpool are involved, it always seems to be any of these subjective things come down against us, unless it's one of our players who make the challenge, when the subjective challenge then becomes a red. And I've seen this enough times over the years to get frustrated by it. And it's not just us. I spoke to United fans who will talk about Rashford's challenge as an example and the red card that he got. This is what winds us all up. It's the lack of consistency in decision making. And it doesn't really matter who the referee is for this conversation. We just want to see as football fans that the same punishment is being dished out across the league for the same challenges. Do I think, on the face of it, any of them should have been red cards? No, I don't. But if you're going to give one person a red card and then give Rashford a red card, then you've got to start giving red cards across the board. You can't be selective in it. And that's what winds me up. And I think that's what will wind up a lot of fans who are watching it. Whether you're a Liverpool fan, an Arsenal fan, you'll all have your own moments in a season where these challenges have haunted you. And I don't get it. Now, here's another part from last night's match of the day that got me. So, fine Irish goalkeeper that he was, Shay Given, and a top fella, he was asked about the incident with Diogo Jota and the foul. And he said, the referee didn't think it was a foul and we have to respect the referee's decision. VAR didn't deem it necessary to get involved. Now, let me just go through that bit by bit. We have to respect the referee's decision. Okay, somewhat, yes. But also, the ref can get it wrong. And I think we're all open to that. The refs are human. These things happen like this. And refs get one look at it. So I'm absolutely fine with a referee not giving it. But there's another part of this conversation that I think Shay Given or Match of the Day or anybody who discusses this is leaving out. And that's why the referee might err on the side of not giving it. And that's because the referee knows if he has made a mistake and he has viewed it incorrectly, well, if it is definitely wrong, VAR are going to intercept this and say, we think you need to have a look at that again. So subconsciously in the referee's mind, he's thinking, I'm not going to give it, but if I've made a mistake, I know my colleagues in the VAR hub will interject and tell me to look at it. That's great in theory, but not when Paul Tierney's the VAR and it's Liverpool. At that case, we need somebody to actually do their job. Because, as I've said, referees can see it one way or get one look at it and decide for or against. I'm always going to be understanding of that. But I can't understand how Tierney looked at that and did not see a foul. And I can't understand how it's not being spoken about more in the media. And I can't understand how it just gets brushed under the carpet. And yes, we won the game and we won it easily. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we win a game 50-0 or lose a game 8-0. These decisions should be made correctly. Procedures should be followed correctly. And it's absolutely a penalty. 100%. Stone wall. So, the idea of the VAR didn't deem it good enough to get involved is not good enough. It just isn't. So I'd like to see an explanation as to why what was a blatant foul wasn't given. Because, look, nobody can tell me he didn't kick his foot and send him down on the edge of the box with his foot on the line. It is as clear as day. Neville rimming the refs again. Neville needs to stop talking. I'm not going to get into a rant about Neville. I did it yesterday. But he needs to shut up. Honestly, like, do you know when I really lost any semblance of respect for Gary Neville? When we played Newcastle and we got 2 penalties, particularly the first one. Because I understand the Jota penalty would divide opinion against Newcastle. I'm open to that. But the first penalty where Luis Diaz, I don't know if it was Schär who challenged them, where Luis Diaz was clearly and obviously fouled. It's not even debatable. And Neville again was trying to make out like this was Liverpool players feigning and trying to buy a penalty. It is the most blatant penalty you're going to see. It is a textbook penalty kick. And I have to listen to Neville, as a Liverpool fan, try to undermine us yet again with what is clearly bias. It's just nonsense. These people are impacting people's thought processes. Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Micah Richards, these pundits on TV, they are swaying opinion. They are starting the narrative of public opinion on these things as they happen. And if the first words about it are Gary Neville on Sky saying that he thinks it's an iffy, dodgy penalty, or Liverpool players are simulating, or Liverpool players are making a meal of it, then that's implanting that in viewers' minds all around the world, be it young people watching the game who then are going to have this thought process, oh, Liverpool are cheaters, every time they get into the penalty box, dive down. Somebody has to actually have a backbone in these situations, and if you can't be unbiased, you shouldn't be doing the game. It's as simple as that. The commentators are there to... Look, I understand Gary Neville commentating on a game and being pro-Manchester United, or Jamie Carragher commentating on a game and being pro-Liverpool, or Micah Richards being pro-Manchester City. Those biases, I think we all understand because they have an emotional attachment to a particular club, but that's for celebratory moments more than making decisions. Neville, he's lost all credibility for me with some of the stuff he's come out with over the last few months. And I think somebody needs to take him down a peg or two. And it won't be me, obviously, because I'm not powerful enough to do it. But it's almost like he feels like he's the Prime Minister of English football or something. Like he holds more weight and more of an opinion than others. Not if you're going to act that way. You don't get to be morally superior when you're clearly not being sincere in your discussion.